Hello, my name is Bruce Neubauer. I'd like to speak for a few minutes with you now about the software development lifecycle. This presentation is intended primarily for my students, but also for others who might happen to see it. And it is intended to be addressed from a managerial rather than a technical perspective. The software development lifecycle is a way that organizations participate in the creation of customized software applications that they need, but which cannot be either bought off the shelf or purchased from a vendor selling enterprise resource planning packages. You might imagine that only organizations that specialize in the creation of software would be interested in the software development lifecycle. But in fact, any organization that needs customized software needs to participate, that it cannot buy otherwise, needs to participate in its production to help assure that the product is indeed what the organization needs. A software development process performed by or for an organization may involve in-house programmers if the organization is large enough to employ a team of programmers, or it may involve outsourcing the work to a consulting company that specializes in software projects. Now, my students, you may wonder, why should I know this? Why should I care? Well, as generalist managers, you need to know this and you need to care, because without an understanding, at least a high overview understanding of the software development lifecycle and of project management, you are likely to delegate to technical people decisions that should be decisions you make. And to the degree that you delegate to technical people, you run up the risk that the resulting product is not going to be what you intended, is not going to be what the organization needed. Now, I certainly do not mean to speak badly of programmers and other technical experts. They are incredible people who do incredible things. But all I am saying is that as a generalist manager, you need to play a part in this, and you need to understand the process in order to play your legitimate part to help assure that your organization gets the software it in fact needs. An enterprise resource planning package sold by a vendor may or may not be an adequate solution for the needs of your organization. If there is such a product available that is designed for organizations like yours, and if the cost is within reach, then that may well be the way you need to go, in which case you avoid this entire need to develop software specifically for your organization. But realize that the vendor is going to make the best case that he or she can make, that there is an alignment between the software as it exists, the ERP solution, and your organization's needs. Well, one size does not necessarily fit all, and one ERP solution made for a organization similar to yours may or may not be an adequate match for the needs of your organization. That's something that you're going to have to decide. And you're going to have to be able to talk to the vendor to gain the insights you need in order to make a wise decision. On the other extreme, beware of stovepipe applications. An ERP is a does-it-all solution. It's a large software application designed in modules that ideally fulfills all of your organization's needs. For example, in terms of supporting the processes that your organization performs on a regular basis. On the other extreme, we have stovepipe applications. The phrase stovepipe application refers to a piece of software, an application, that supports the needs of a particular department, a particular function within your organization, but stands alone. I suppose that's where they get the phrase stovepipe. It stands alone. Well, just optimizing the performance of one department or two departments or more using stovepipe applications is not usually beneficial in the larger sense, because the business processes of your organization cross departments, processes cross functions. And if the software that your organization depends upon is a collection of specialized applications that do one thing only, then what you're going to wind up with is a situation in which, in order to support processes that cross the functional areas of your organization, you're going to have to somehow move data from one application to another application to another. See, ERP is a large solution that does it all and will support processes that cross functional boundaries. Stovepipe applications perform specific things very well, but are not likely to support processes. And without supporting processes, you're going to create a lot of work and a lot of opportunity for error to creep into the work that is performed by having to move data from application to application to application. Now, there's two major varieties of the software development lifecycle. I'm going to introduce you to the waterfall methodology and to the iterative incremental methodology. The waterfall methodology is the way software development lifecycle is usually taught. It's easy to teach, it's easy to understand, it makes sense. The only problem is that in the real world, this is not often the way it's in fact done. But in order to understand the other model, it's best to begin here. The waterfall methodology is a sequence of steps. And different textbooks and different teachers may identify the steps a little differently, but it all basically boils down to the same thing. In order to create software that you need for your organization, if the project manager is following the waterfall methodology, he or she will first guide the organization in terms of the identification of its need. What's the